Hey there, Sam here. Normally I do political cartoons and illustrations and that kind of thing, but I also do a lot of education. I do kids classes for illustration and cartooning. And I thought maybe I should bring that into this channel because maybe some of you might enjoy that. And so I'd like to do some little skeleton warriors. Skeletons are really good to practice because they teach you about proportions and anatomy. All we'll need is pencil, paper, pen for later, and yeah, let's get into it.
Here's an example of some that I've done before, and we'll do something like that. I might just build it from the ground up. So I'm going to say that this is the ground, and I'll have one foot somewhere here and somewhere here. It's important to note at this point with your pencil, just press nice and lightly. You don't want to press really hard because then it's hard to erase and hard to manage and keep changing your mind. So I'll have my major strong line be just a long diagonal like this. Pardon me. I have my major line just being a long diagonal like that, which is supported by a leg going forward. So I'll come up here and pop in my hips somewhere around here. So I'll pop in a kind of box shape, maybe a bit higher, somewhere around there. And then I'm going to pop in one leg going forwards, and then down, move that foot forward even further. One foot will be pointing this way, so I'll have a kind of triangle there, and this one will be a triangle going forwards. Alright, let's keep going with our character, our skeleton warrior, and have it leaning right forward. Yeah, I'm going to put my rib cage. I'll still have the body sort of facing us towards us. So I'll have my rib cage. Rib cage is kind of like this, you know, the shape of the lungs. It's kind of this blobby shape, like a big tooth or something, like that. Little thing there. Maybe that'll show where our head's going to go. So our head, I'm going to start with the circle up here. Where am I? About there. Yeah, I think this skeleton is one of those, maybe it's on looking for someone. So it's sort of peering down or something. Okay, so I got my circle there, but then I'm going to put a central line, so I think that central line is a good spot. So that means my eyes will end up here and here. Don't worry too much about any details just yet, that's just a rough guide. Alright, and then just drag that central line so it goes around the back and then over the front, and then you want to pull that sort of down the front, and that can be your directional line for we're going to put in this sort of the top teeth section. So this is our cranium. We're going to pop in our mandible, which is the jaw. I might drop my jaw down a little bit, makes it look a bit cool. So down like so. Maybe even further, like that. That will probably move later, so don't press too hard. I think my cranium needs to be a bit bigger at the back because they're not perfect circles, they're kind of longer at the back. This is our humerus, so I'm going to pop that down and then back up again. I think I'll have some kind of weapon in this hand. Yeah, I might go a giant shield here. Yeah, maybe this should be the weapon hand and that should be the shield hand. Yeah, shield hand down like this, so down and out. That way we can see the inside of the shield and that'll look cool. I'm going to pop in a big circle here. This is going to end up being my sort of Viking-esque shield. The hand will be this sort of box here. Should we go up or down? Who knows? Up seems a bit lame. I'm going to pop it down. So it's a bit more natural. Yeah, I'm gonna go just down. Yeah, so that's sort of following my line here anyway, so I'm gonna pop that down into a box, maybe a bit higher there, down into a box. So don't worry about stuff with your hands for now. Just pop in a big square like that, and then yeah, I might make it a bit more like that, and then pop in a little thing on the side that's going to tell you where your thumb's going to go. You can pop a little circle there while you're at it that tells you where your thumb's going to go over there. And then here, I think I'll have my sword overlapping my leg, so you get a nice sort of sense of superimposed objects in 3D there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, that's almost all that we need for our construction. I think I'm happy with that. Let's pop in, let's make sure we got our knees. We're happy with our knees. One there, and so this comes up into hips. I'm going to sort of build my hips into a bit of a clearer idea, because they are facing us. Alright, us here. And then, so yeah, I think my femur has to be a little bit higher on this side. Coming down to a little bit higher there. As I said, when you're doing any kind of drawing, you just want to start really lightly and then gradually build up. Well, you know, depends. There's other ways of working, but for this kind of thing, that's how I do it. Alright, so I might make my head a bit flatter on the top because it's too round. Normally at this point, what I would do and what I will do, just move things around a little bit, but then I'm pretty much just going to come straight over with pen right about now, because everything's in its place. Oh, actually, ribs. So ribs, I think we have 8 each side. I'm not sure if I'm going to manage 8, but basically you want to just pop in a kind of jelly bean on the front, like a slug shape. That's your sternum, and then that has like a circle bit on the top, and then your ribs sort of only the bottom one goes downwards. So the bottom one is kind of easy because it sort of goes more down than the rest. So the bottom one down and down, whereas these ones, they sort of go out and up and up. And by the time they get up here, I might just pop in these lines, which is the clavicles. They should be going all the way up. So all the way up there, all the way up there. And then try and squeeze one more in there. I don't know if this will like work when we're doing this, but basically if you get 6 or more, it looks good enough, so long as they go like really curved towards the head up here and less curved towards the head down here. Alright, so I'm going to start with my sweet Stadler, but you can use a biro or anything else. I use this so it looks really fine. When you're thinking about skull eyes, I want you to think about aviator sunglasses. They got a kind of diagonal above the nose, but then all the rest is kind of flat, so a little bit flat there, and then curved and flat, and then curved and flat, and so on. Maybe that's too exaggerated, but you get the idea. So diagonal on the top of the nose, and flat, oops, and curved. Alright, so our nose is like a bubble letter A, kind of a little, almost like an upside down love heart shape. I might start scribbling in these because that's bugging me. I'm scribble in just with some strokes like that, and again here, just put some strokes like that just because we want to know this is a dark area. Alright, let's keep going and pop in a kind of next to this eye, put in a little bump there and then go straight up, And then we'll pull that back and around into our sort of cheekbony thing. Yep, like that. And then this is going to come down into our teeth. So coming down like that. And our teeth are going to start somewhere around here. And I'll start mine a little bit lower, maybe there. And you just want simple rounded boxes for your teeth. Don't try and make them perfect because that will drive you crazy. And a bunch, you don't have to be precise unless you're doing something for a medical textbook. But I doubt that you'll be on this channel if you're doing it for a medical textbook. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little bit rounder on the tops here while I'm at it. And that's the magic of the pen. You can sort of bend lines as you go along. Just bend them a little bit. Not too much. Alright. Scribble, scribble, scribble. And so on. So now I'm going to pop in my jaw, which on the top has this kind of little, again, love heart shape. But then I'm going to bring that down to a kind of angle, and down like that. And pull that forwards into a, oops, that's a bit too sharp, into a jaw thing. And then I'm going to be starting to pop in my teeth, like one by one, but I'll just do one after the other, and I'll do the tops later. So I get a nice sort of row all linked up. So the bottom, see how the bottoms of them look good? I just messed that one up. Anyway, and one more, see how that, and then close that side, but then put this another one on that side. If you can, squeeze in the tops of your teeth. Maybe you want to make them a bit different, each one, to make it look more interesting. I think my head's going to be too tall. No, that's not round enough. Bring that down fractionally. And at the back, a little less extreme. Where are we going? We're going here, here, and up. Yeah, flatter on the back, flat there. This is what I mean about drawing really lightly. So it allows you to make changes. All right, that's all right. Let's keep going. It doesn't have to be perfect, remember. Let's keep going with a sort of diagonal line on the front of the head. Actually, maybe a little lump here and then a diagonal line. And then we're going to come sort of pretty much flat on our top. I'm just going to do a little up and down on my head. And then a bit of a diagonal there. A bit of a almost straight down there. And then let's bring that down into a little curve that fits on underneath. Like that. That's alright. So I'm just going to pop in, if you can see right in here, maybe just some little like things that indicate the teeth, little boxes, and then close that off with another little line in there. Speaking of that, let's go in through there and then pop in another little line there. Oh, bit of a tangent there. I'm going to just hatch to some sideways diagonal strokes in there because that'll be all dark later. Maybe some more little lines as we go. There's these little dots here. And then maybe on the front of your nose, a bit of a rim there. And let's go straight to this arm, because this arm is going to come kind of in front of the rib cage. So we want to pop a nice round blob on the end of our humerus. And then we're just going to pull that all the way down into a nice sort of dog bone shape down here. Alright, so we got our dog bone, and maybe while we're at it, we'll put some little, the art of the dash, 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 dash. Uh-oh, I've got a cat. No. 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 Away. 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 Yeah, so we're going to pop in 2 bones here. One slightly larger one. This is, yeah, the radius, that's right. Radius is this one. And then one underneath, it's called the ulna, which is sort of skinnier. Just there. And then underneath that, let's get into our hand. Our hand has so many little bones in it, I'm not going to even try to remember those. But basically, if you just do a bunch of little sort of pebble shapes, different sizes, there, probably too many there. And then we're going to move on to some bigger blobs, which are there and there and there and there and there. Sorry, let's make that clear. A whole bunch of little blocks there, and then just make sure on the end you've got some bigger ones that sort of point down and around your object. Now you can see my swords kind of need to move a little bit now at least. I'll pop in my hilt first, which is kind of going to be just a simple rectangular thing. Right, so big rectangle thing, and then my sword shape will be a bit more like that, into that, and I'll just do my finish off my rectangle there and there. Remembering we need to leave space for our sword, and go straight ahead. Yeah, it's going to do a big long sort of pirate sword. Alright, so I got the big long pirate sword, something like that. If you can squeeze in another extra layer to make your hilt look a bit more 3D. Obviously I've made a bit of a mess of my sword because my lines aren't that great, but that's fine. Whatever angles we've got there, we're going to put them there, so I'm going to put one there and one there, and then I can put my hilt thing, or the end of my sword, just there. Some little scratches and things on the sword. Kind of looks cool if you do like some straight lines and then some squiggles. I found straight line, squiggle, squiggle. Not too much though, just a little bit. Let's get into this rib cage. Do a little, blob pointing towards the head, and then a blob pointing towards the hips. Make sure that that gets in a nice line there. And then I'm gonna pop in my sort of collarbone, clavicle business here and there, and so on. So now building in our ribs. Our ribs are going to go around. Oops, maybe that's a bit too wide. Yeah, that should have come from a little bit closer. Let's put that in. Deal with that later. Shape like that. Shape like that. So let's go big round curves like this, and like that. So that's the first circular one, and then all the rest, just kind of make it up as you go along. That's what I do. So curvy curve, and this one should be a bit more. I don't know if this ribcage is turning out too healthy. I've messed it up several times already. Anyway, you get the idea. So pull down, go straight, pull out, go straight, pull out, and a little bit further down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't need 5. I'm going to put end up with 7. I think there's actually 8. Oh, that's fine. One more here. And the bottom one, you want to hang that down a little bit lower. Not so sharp. Uh-oh. Making a mess. See what I mean? So long as it ends up looking something like that, don't worry. If you just do a bunch, people get the idea and they build it in their own brain. Like what's supposed to be there. The tricky part is you want to see how that line goes through there. You want to bring that back towards the body on the underside. So imagine that goes through there and then around and around and through there and around and so on. Same for this one. So that one comes around and so you can sort of overlap it. One through there, one through there, one through there. One through there, one through there. One through there, one through there. And so on. Yeah, this one needs one through there. And this one can just go like that. Okay, there's only one side. Let's do the other side. The other side, same deal. But try and make them sort of parallel and mirrored as best you can. So to the middle and down. To the middle, well, to the outside and down. And to the outside and down. And to the outside and down. And maybe one more. Oops. Down like that. Down like that. Alright, same deal. I'm gonna make that go around, so I'm gonna bring that around here, following those curves, making sure we're getting the right side. So this one goes there. Don't worry if you mess this up. People won't really notice if the lines don't match up. Alright, let's get on to our humerus this side. Again, dog bone there, coming up into a mushroom top. You might have to tuck yours behind your things like mine. And straight up, scuff, 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 scratch, scratch, scratch. Radius on the top, big one, coming out and forward. We can't see the top of it because that hand's going to be covering that up. I'm just going to pop in my little baby ulna underneath. And then I'm going to pop in my fingers straight up. So big blob, smaller blob, little blob. And then pull those down and down, down, down. Maybe just put a little bit of mess between them. Then you want to pop that sort of thumb over the top, so you can pop in a little jelly bean on top of the jelly bean there. For your sword, your shield, just keep it real simple. You just want to have like kind of very simple door handle shape. You need to go crazy there. Door handle. And tuck all this stuff underneath. Yeah. Alrighty. Now let's get into our shield. I'm gonna start. I think I'll make it a bit more oval shaped, so straighter on the sides. And rounder on the tops. Something around like that. Remember with your circles, lift your pen off the page a couple of times while you do it. Yeah, see, this is too long that side, too short at the top. Moving on, it's fine. I might just do a double ring just for the sake of it. Double ring. Let's just get straight into these hips. The hips have got this kind of pair of jelly beans that face each other. So one here one there, and then that runs up into a kind of ridge that goes over the top. So it's kind of like up and then down into that. I might make that double ridge up and down. And same on the other side. We're going to go up over there, and then down, and then bring that down and back. So imagine that goes, you can sort of imagine that goes behind that, and then down like this, and up like that. Bring that around to the back, kind of like a butterfly. This side you won't be able to see it because it's too much of an angle. I might pop in a little sort of circle shape there. And yeah, all this spine stuff we'll deal with later. Let's get into our big femurs. The femur is a little blob, but then a big blob on the inside. That's it, hip thing. Pardon me. And then just bring that straight down. Remember, your femur wants to be the longest bone in your body. So just look at your image and go, alright, it has to be longer than all of those. And keep going down, 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 down. Down, down, oops. Down, down, oops. Alright, and then again, dog bone shape. Dog bone. I'll do the same on this side. Scuff, 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 scuff. Circle here. And then long bone there. Long bone. Dog bone on the end. That means we can pop in our underside here, which kind of has two more little bits there with circles inside them. I'm not sure what they're called. Down and like that, down like that. Alright, patellas. Nutella. I'm going to put my big patella that side and this side about the same. Getting down to the tibia, which is the big sort of calf bone thing. Again, dog bone shape, classic. Down like that. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Little fib on the back there. Same here, let's go. Big tib. Going backwards a little bit, so pushing back towards the back in 3D space. And then I might just try and show that by having that tibia just behind there. Alright, almost done. Let's get some blobs going here. Big blobs. Again, foot has these tarsals. Which is just like a bunch of rocks all stuck together with a big fat thing for the heel. And then you want to put them into metatarsals, which is those little guys there. And then some really tiny phalange, which is the little toe bits. Try and make the middle one bigger. I don't know if I managed. That's fine. And some squiggles on your tarsals, or your rock shapes. Let's go over here. Big rock first, and then into another kind of rectangular one. Squeeze in some dark shapes there, and pop in a blob for my heel bone, and then some more here, and then straight into my tarsals. And this side, I'm going to definitely have to make this big toe in front of those other ones. So the other ones sort of get stuck behind. Oh, I have made that way too small. Anyway, get the idea. Yeah, that foot is way too small. Ugh, what a mess. Anyway, moving on. Part of life. Our spine thing, I want you to just think about where it starts and where it goes to. It basically starts here and goes to the head. So basically we want to put a series of smiley faces. Smiley face, smiley face. Oh, maybe that was too big. Smiley face. Oops. Try and keep the gap in between them even, not like me. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Maybe another one there. And then if you can fit some more smiley faces, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Then, this is the cool part, we're going to come up the sides and pop the little nodules on the side. So up and nodule, 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 and so on. You get the idea. If you can add a bit more curve to yours as well. This one seems a bit too straight. Up and nodule, up and nodule, up and nodule, up and nodule. And same up here, if you can squeeze some more in. So as it really looks like it's coming up through the body. Repeat that shape. They're kind of like those puzzle pieces with two little noses on the side. And if you want to put some little scuffs and things on those, that looks extra good while we're at it. And this bottom thing, the coccyx, is kind of like this little butterfly shape. Comes down into a triangle. And it's got some little holes in it like that, which all sits into a kind of hole here in the pelvis. Alrighty, I'll put that like that. Alright, almost done. I think that's it. What we're going to do now is just go around and add a bit of... I'm going to add some shading like this. You might want to do it a different way. If you want to do different types of shading, that's fine. And scribble in some of these parts that are behind and therefore probably in shadow. Oh, well, we missed some scapula. So we want to pop these little triangle shapes on our back that come down and then back up behind everything in our rib cage and tuck those in. Yeah, so it's 2 scapula. Don't forget your scapula. Like that. I would recommend erasing your pencil before going ahead and doing the final step. That's alright. Yeah, so the final step, I'm going to get this thicker one and I'll just go around and add just more darkness in places. So maybe anywhere where I want it to be a bit heavier and darker, like on the undersides of things. Mostly just on the undersides of things. So, oops. It takes a moment to dry, so I don't want to get any wet ink on stuff. Yeah, so just go around and add little areas of extra dark. And so on. Any lines that you want to be a little bit extra bold with, you should hit them now.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed drawing these cool little skeleton warriors with me. I know I did, and I'd like to dedicate this video to Thomas, my brother, because he and I used to really love Warhammer games when we were kids. Tom was really good at painting the little figurines. I was never very good at painting figurines, but I really love the pictures. So yeah, if you like this kind of video, click like or subscribe, and that'll let me know if you'd like to see more of them. Also comment if you want. Alright, cheers, bye for now. Thanks for coming to That Sneaky Rabbit.